Hi guys, welcome back to the APM mobile automation training. In the last lecture, we have already covered up till the fifth point, where I taught you of how to download Java, set up its environment variables, and how to install Android Studio and set up all the Android variables, environment variables that we need to set in order to successfully set up Android in our machines. In our today's session, we'll be learning on how to create a emulator virtual device using the Android Studio. That would be covering our point 6, and we will also, after creating it, check if it's working fine by opening it. So let's just move forward to it. So in order to create an Android virtual device using the Android Studio, what we need to do is to first launch the Android Studio. And when you have launched the Android Studio, what you need to do is to go to the uh, tools option, and here you will see one option such as the AVD manager. So you need to click on it, and you will see that this screen will appear. Since I've already created two Android virtual devices in my PC, uh, when you will open it for the first time, you won't see any of these devices on your screen. You will be a blank screen will be displayed to you, and you simply need to click on this button, create virtual device button, in order to create a new Android virtual device. So just for information, even if you're not able to view this option under the tools drop down, what you can do is just press Control Shift and A on your computer, and it will launch something like this. And here you just need to type AVD manager, and as soon as you type, you will see that it displays in the drop down, and just click on it, and you'll see the screen appearing again. So I repeat, if you're not able to see the AVD manager inside present in the tools drop down, just press Control Shift and A on your keyboard, and you will see the uh, screen, the Android virtual device creation screen, the Android virtual device manager screen on your PC. So once the screen is launched, in order to create a new Android virtual device, just click on this button, and as soon as you click on this button, you will see all sorts of virtual devices that you can create using this manager, virtual device manager. As you can see, there are different devices like Nexus 5, Nexus 6, Nexus 6, and other devices. Also various other Android platforms like the Android TV and tablets, you can see, right? So like I told you in my previous lectures, it's not possible that your company where you're working, they will provide you actual physical device every time you want to run your Android test cases against. So in most of the scenarios, in most of the companies, this thing is very useful. Using the Android Studio, we can create virtual devices and use them to run our test cases against. So for example, now I will be creating a new Android virtual device in this video, so that it would be easier for you to create when you start working on this. So I will just select, for now I will select the Nexus 5 option, and click on next. In the next screen, you will see the list of all the Android versions, right? As you can see, the Android 7 version, Android 7.1 version, 8, 8.1. So these are the versions from which you need to select, and whatever the version you select here would be installed against the virtual device which you selected in the previous screen. Like here I selected Nexus 5, and inside Nexus 5 what Android version do I need to install. Depends upon the requirement. So for now, like in most of the examples, you will be seeing that I will be installing I will be using Android 7, 7.1.1. Initially, when you come on the screen, you will see this download button link in front of every Android version, and as soon as you have finished downloading the version, it will appear in bold. So in my computer, I have already downloaded Nougat and Oreo version of Android, and so basically once you have downloaded, the list will be displayed here in bold. Any particular version which you would want to download, you can just go to the x86 images, and here you can find all the Android versions that are available, and according to the requirement you can download any one of them, right? So now for the example sake, I have selected the Nougat version, and just click on next. So here you will see that the various settings that would be available on my Android virtual device. As you can see, I have selected Nexus 5. The operating system I have selected is the Nougat Android 7.1.1, and the as we know that there are two basically orientations available over the phones. One is the portrait and other is the landscape. So we have by default selected the portrait, since that is how we see the mobile device most of the times, right? And you can also click on the advanced settings to know more about advanced settings. So here you will see that the RAM which the Android virtual device will be using is this much, 1536, and internal storage would be 2048. So depending upon your requirement, you can increase or decrease the RAM or the internal storage. So one thing you need to keep in mind while increasing or decreasing RAM is that whatever the RAM you specify here will be the RAM it will be using your system's RAM, and there might be a possibility that your system might become slow whenever you launch the virtual device, or whenever you are using the virtual device in your computer. So it totally depends upon the requirement. If you just create an Android virtual device and you see that the it's working a bit slow, you can go and increase the RAM, and it will I mean the performance would definitely improve if you increase the RAM. But at the same time, your system's performance overall may decrease, since that RAM will be used from your system's from a work machine's RAM only. So here you can provide the name of the virtual device, whatever you want to give. For now, for the demo sake, I am giving the name of the device as demo underscore 1, right? So after this, you can just click on the finish button, and you will see that the Android virtual device has been created successfully. You can see now the virtual device is successfully created. We gave the name of the virtual device as demo underscore 1. So once the version is created, the virtual device is created, if you want to go and edit it again, you just need to click on this edit button, and using this edit button you can edit any of the settings that you would want to change, right? So we'll just click on finish for now. And in order to run the virtual device, what we need to do is to click on this run button, green button, and it will successfully launch the virtual device. So we'll just click on it and wait for the virtual device to open. As you can see, it might take some time. You just need to be patient here and not need to worry. Like as you can see now, the Android virtual device has successfully launched, right? So this is how it would look. Don't worry about these messages, these are just simple messages. And as you can see now, the virtual device is successfully launched, and this is how it would look. So it's currently loading, and these are some of the buttons that that we like this is the stop power button, this is the volume button, right? This is the rotate button, to change the orientation, and this is the camera button, and so on. So we just need to wait, and just need to wait for it to start. It might take some time depending upon the RAM of the system, and once it is started, you will see that it just looks like a normal device. So as you can see in the background, it is not restricted that you need to have only one virtual device in one PC. You can create as many as devices as you want, but you need to keep in mind that the more devices you would create, it would take more the disk space, and your computer might become slow. So according to the requirement, create a virtual device and start using it, right? So now, as you can see, our virtual device is successfully launched. It simply looks like a physical device that we use, the Android physical device. As you can see now, just click on this menu button, and you can see all the apps which are pre-installed. Whenever we buy a new mobile phone, a new Android device, there are a few apps that are built in by default in those devices that comes with the OS. So as you can see, all of these apps are coming here, right? You can just click on any of the apps. Just for the example sake, let's just click on the calculator app here. Yeah. So as you can see, I will just perform a simple operation. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, right? So we have successfully launched a virtual device using the Android Studio. So like I told you in my previous lectures also, we would be using the Android Studio only for the purpose of creating the virtual device, right? All of the script part, all of the coding part, for that we will be using the Eclipse, right? So one question you might pop up in your mind, that every time we need to run the virtual device, do we need to open the Android Studio again and again, just to run the virtual device? I would suggest there are some other ways also that we can use, instead of opening the Android Studio again and again just to run the virtual device. I will just show you one way that we can use. But for starters, when you need to create the virtual device, the only option we have is to run the Android Studio first. So in order to create the virtual device, you will have to open the Android Studio and create a virtual device. Once the virtual device has been created, there is one option that we can use to run our virtual device. One option which I've already shown you is the using this button, going against the virtual device you want to run, and just click on this button. The other option is, for the other option, we'll just close the Android virtual this screen, and we'll close on the Android Studio as well, and we'll just go to the command prompt. And before going to the command prompt, let us just go to the path where the where our Android SDK folder is available. Like in the previous lecture also, I've shown you that the Android SDK folders is present inside the this folder structure, right? And here you will find the Android SDKs. So you need to go inside the platform tools, right? Inside the platform tools, you will see this adb.exe file. This file is basically responsible for running all the commands over the virtual device. So in order to first launch the Android virtual device using the command prompt, what we need to do is to go to this path. So we can go to this path like this. So now we are inside the platform tools, right? So here we just need to write a simple command as emulator avd followed by the name of the virtual device which we want to run. So we gave the name of the virtual device as demo underscore 1, right? So you just need to click enter and it should launch the virtual device. We'll just wait for a few seconds and we'll see that the virtual device is successfully launched, right? Okay, first we need to shut down whatever the virtual device which was running previously. I've just closed it. It might take some time. So I will just, yeah, you can see that the Android virtual device has successfully launched. The reason it gave us the error is because we wrote this command before closing the previous virtual device which was already running. So as you can see, I have now successfully closed the earlier virtual device, and after then I went to the command prompt and just wrote this simple command as emulator avd and followed by the name of the virtual device, right? And you can see it has successfully launched, and it will just load as it previously did. And this is it, guys. We have now successfully launched the Android virtual device. So this covers our sixth point, which says that the uh, I mean we have now successfully used Android Studio to create a virtual device emulator, and we have opened it and checked that it is working fine, right, guys? In the next session I will be showing you uh, how to install Node.js, how to set up its environment variables, right? uh, Thank you for watching this